This is the question I want you guys to answer. And I'll give my opinion. You guys can go around the room. Consider this a parting. Factor crap, we've talked a lot about pitchers for the Baltimore Orioles. But what's been talked about a lot recently is that fans, the perception that this team is home run or bust and doesn't do a good enough job in runners in scoring position situations. So it leads to the question, fellas, factor crap, the Orioles must acquire one more big time bat if they're going to have a chance to go and contend for the World Series this year. My answer, I'm going to say personally, no. I think they have all the pieces in-house, whether that's in the organization in the minor leagues or guys that are in the big leagues. But there is something to be said that they need to be a little bit more efficient with getting guys in. It's not as bad as people think, but it could be better. But don't let that thought or feeling right now still deter people from how talented of a roster this is and how guys, like I believe, whether it's a Kobe Mayo, his time is coming, but the price to go get a bat might not be worth it, and where do you put it? And so for me, it's crap. I don't think they need to go get a bat. I think pitching, relieving, and starting are the priorities, no doubt about it. Fellas, what say you? And I tell you.
Awesome. Thanks, Rip. Have a good one.
Bye, buddy.
I'm going to agree with you, though. It's crap. The Orioles have everything in-house for offensively. Offensively, I think when you have guys like Heston Kjerstad, who's just been dominating every opportunity he's gotten, he needs to get more opportunities. Kobe Mayo, we talked about. Connor Norby. I mean, there's so much offense that can be brought up from the minor leagues. Obviously, it's the same situation, though. Young guys, let's see how they adjust once they get up there. We saw that with Jackson Holliday, who is another name. Maybe down the line we see better on-base percentage guy. So, Rocco, we'll start with you. Factor crap. The Orioles need to go get bats.
I said crap. We talked about like the trade deadline, potentially what we could see. And would it surprise me if they went out and added a bat in there? No, but I don't think they need one when they have guys at the AAA level that are more than capable of hitting a cover off a baseball, like Kobe Mayo, like a Connor Norby. I mean, guys are down there. So if you're not going to do it internally or at the AAA level, then when are these guys going to come up? When are you going to bring them up if you don't need them? So, but right now, what we're seeing with the Orioles, and Brandon Hyde alluded to it, and so did James McCann, if you watch the Masson postgame, they're trying to kill the ball right now. Mm-hmm. It's like a home run or bust mentality, or so it seems, for the O's through this like bump in the road stretch, whatever you want to call it. They need to get back to their ways where they're not trying to kill the ball. They have the bats, they have the talent, they have guys that can hit for base hits, for doubles, for triples. It doesn't always have to be, okay, we have guys on base, we need to drive them in via home run. Put the bat on the ball. Put the ball in play. Give your guys a chance to score. When you see guys at second and third, and what was it, no outs yesterday in the sixth, and you can't produce any runs, as a fan, it makes you want to throw up. It does. And then you get Austin Hayes and Jorge Mateo back-to-back striking out. It's like, stop overthinking. Get back to what you do best. You know you have the offense. You know you can put up runs. Now it's time to do it. Like I said before, I think the All-Star break is coming at a perfect time for this team. I think the month of June really gassed them out. And, you know, not making excuses, but this All-Star break, I think it's going to help tremendously for them.
I do too. Kevin, back to crap.
Yeah, I say it's crap, but I do think they need to bring up some of their bats that are down in AAA. I mean, in terms of going and out and acquiring someone from outside the organization, I just don't know why they would spend their prospect power doing that when they have enough guys down. And when you spend your prospect power maybe trading for another bat, you're trading your bat prospects, and you're just like, okay, is that guy really the needle mover that they need? Yes, the offense needs to be better and more consistent with runners in scoring position. We've talked about it ad nauseum on Kevin and Zach Reacts every single night that it happens, which has been too many nights. But to me, you want to go out there and get pitching. You want to spend your prospect power on pitching. The offense, to me, long-term is not as big of a concern to me as the pitching staff is, because we know how talented the offense can be in their 1 through 9 when they are on. And again, it's the question of when they're on. They're really good. But the pitching staff, outside of Burns and Grayson, there are real question marks, especially when it comes to the playoffs. So to me, I don't see it. We're already having conversations about when Kobe Mayo comes up, there's only one guy that makes sense to move off of the roster, and that's Ramon Arias. And so if you go out there and acquire another bat, obviously before rosters expand, you only have limited roster spots to work with. So that means either Mayo doesn't come up until September, or you're getting rid of somebody that should be able to help you contribute this year. So I think it is crap. I don't think they're going to get another bat. I think this trade deadline, we're going to see pitching help, and the offense is just going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, I agree. And it, like you said, it doesn't make sense. The whole philosophy of the Orioles has been grow the bats by the pitching. Use bat prospects, position players to go out and acquire pitching. And it doesn't make much sense to grow the bats and then also buy the bats. It would be one thing if you felt like the Orioles had one glaring hole and nothing to fix it internally. I would understand that. But pitching is just such a bigger problem. It's way, I would say, way higher on the needs list right now than just acquiring a bat that you would platoon or throw in every few days. So I'm going to say pitching is still king at this deadline. And any final thoughts on that one?
No, it's, you know what? I think what we need to see is the O's just to go out in this series finale and just lay it all out there. It's get back to your ways, and it can start. I know the All-Star break's coming up, but it can start today. You avoid the sweep against the Cubs. You go into the series with the Yankees on a high note, maybe not the highest note that you would have hoped because you already dropped 2 of 3 and lost the series to the Cubs, but get at least a win, salvage the series a bit, and prove to yourselves that you're a team that is capable of driving in runners when they get on base, on second, on third, when they get in scoring position, because that's what this club needs. I think they need a bit of a confidence boost. I think they just need to get back to their ways, and they'll be fine from here on out. But right now, it's just like this series has been a wash so far. So salvage it, go out, get to work today, and let your bats go to work. Let your bats do the talking, honestly, because they hear the noise. They do. It's not like these guys don't hear the noise right now and that they're not producing with runners in scoring position. So, okay, go out, prove it, take care of business, and get a win.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Rip wanted us to real quick tease that he has a Jack Flaherty breakdown coming soon. All reliable Jack Flaherty. The Orioles reacquiring Jack Flaherty, said this before, will be an absolute movie. The deadline move, the back-to-back years acquiring Jack Flaherty at the deadline, absolute cinema. Rocco gets it.
It would be basically like the grandpa from The Simpsons walking in the building.
It's exactly what I want.
Walking is, circle and then walking
Hat
back out.
rack.
That would be Jack Flaherty coming back to Baltimore. It would be like his time in Baltimore was that, and then he comes back through the door again. Wouldn't that be something? That'd be
Would be
crazy.
absolutely
Speaking of bats,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's just call it a day. The Orioles go get Ryan McKenna back, and that'll be that.
Bring me Ryan McKenna.
What's
Fix all the issues.
What is he